brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, we want to first thank you for taking the time to come out here in Harlem this afternoon to this unity rally. But I think before we go into our unity rally, we should give another round of applause first to the steel band that played earlier. And to Gus Denizulu and his African drummers and dancers who just finished. They made us feel right at home. Not down home, but back home. The only time you feel, or the only time you remember down home is when you see a rope. That's the number one memory that we attach to down home. But back home, our people are happy people. We love to sing and dance. We love to be in unity and harmony. We love to do things together. This is the African way. This is our way. We never knew anything about disunity and inharmony until we were kidnapped by the white man and brought here to America, divided against each other and then used against each other. So we want to welcome you to our rally, our unity rally, for a united black front, to unite all factions of our people, to unite every one of the 20 million so-called Negroes into one group. And you'll notice, whenever the white man thinks that we're going to call a rally to knock our own kind, you see him jammed out here. He wants to hear us say something against King or against Bunch or against Palmer, against someone of our own kind. He jams out here. But when you call a rally for black people to unite, let's get together, you don't see too many white folks there. They don't like black people to get together in unity and harmony. As long as you and I are going to attack each other or talk about each other or heap scorn and ridicule upon each other, the white man gets his kick. But when he knows that we're going to come together in unity and harmony, he won't get his kick. He will get kicked. Yeah, one of those girls. So, in calling this unity rally, we invited Dr. Adam Clayton Powell, Dr. Roy Wilkins, Dr. Whitney Young, Dr. James Farmer, Dr. Edward Davis, the Right Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Dr. Gardner C. Taylor, Dr. Ralph Budd, Dr. A. Philip Randolph, Professor James Lawson, and Dr. James Foreman. We invited all these so-called Negro doctors to come out and, since they are doctors, give their analysis, their diagnosis of the ailments that our people are afflicted with here in America. And after giving their diagnosis to this vast audience here in Harlem, then we wanted them to offer their solution. We told them that if they came out, give you and me, us here in Harlem, some idea of what we can do to solve our own problems. Instead of always running downtown to the white man telling him what's wrong and begging him for his crumbs, we wanted to get together here in Harlem and analyze our own problems and see what we could do ourselves to solve our problems. Because as long as we sit around here waiting for some blue-eyed white man to undo what he himself is guilty of doing, we'll be another 1,000 years waiting for a solution to the race problem. Our problem has to be solved by us. We have to do it ourselves. Our condition has to be corrected ourselves. No white man can do it for us. No white man will do it for us. No white man wants to do it for us. No white man even has the nature to do it for us. So, we sent them the letter pointing out to them that if capitalistic Kennedy and communistic Khrushchev can find something in common on which the former United White Front despite their tremendous ideological differences, then it's time for the so-called Negro leaders to submerge all of our trivial, minor differences in order to seek a common solution to a common problem posed by a common enemy to our people by forming a united black front. If the American government, which is a white government, and the Russian government, which is a white government, can get together and form a united white front, and that's all they form, a united white front, then it is time for you and me, time for us, to forget our little differences and in some way try to find how we can form a united black front. When you see the white man forming a united white front, he's forming that front against a common enemy, an enemy that's a common enemy to them. And that enemy is not considered by them as white. Likewise with us. When you see you and I getting together, it is because we have begun to realize that we have a common enemy. And the only time we'll be able to come together with a common objective and a common goal is when we first develop a common motive. And that motive is best developed by recognizing the common enemy. And that common enemy is the white man. I say that common enemy is the white man. The white man is your enemy, whether you are a Baptist, whether you're a Methodist, whether you're a Episcopalian, or whether you're a Muslim, or whether you're a Mason, or whether you're an elk. If you find yourself running into opposition when you're looking for freedom, justice, and equality, or some kind of right, you have to agree always the one who opposes your right is the white man. Some old blue-eyed, blonde-haired, bad-smelling white man. And he doesn't like you any better than he likes me. Some of you are dumb enough to think that he makes a distinction, that he makes a difference, but in his eyesight, there's no difference. When he puts his club upside your head, he doesn't care whether you're a Baptist, a Methodist, but he does want to know whether or not you're a Muslim. Because he knows if you're a Baptist or a Methodist, you're going to turn the other cheek. You're going to try and love your enemy. You're going to pray for them that despitefully use you. So he's not worried about it. But he knows if you're a Muslim, you're not going to turn the other cheek. If you pray for him, you pray that God kills him, or God helps you to kill him. That's the only kind of prayer you pray. So since you and I can realize we're all in the same boat, catching the same hell from the same man, it's time for you and me to unite, to get together and get this big white ink off our back. You got a bad habit. You're hooked and don't know it. You got what's known as white disease. You think you can't get along without the white man. You think you can't get some clothes without the white man. You think you can't get a house without the white man. You think you can't even get a job without the white man. You're worse than a man who thinks he can't get along without heroin. You're worse than the man who thinks he can't get along without morphine. You're worse than the junkie. You're in worse shape than the junkie because the junkie only has a little monkey on his back and you run around with a big white ink named Uncle Sam on your back. So I wrote a letter inviting Dr. King and Dr. Bush and the others to come out to this unity rally. I have a card here from Dr. King's secretary saying, "Dear Mr. X, Dr. King is out of the city at this time and will be away for about 2 weeks. Your letter of recent date will be brought to his attention for reply immediately on his return to Atlanta." We're happy to hear from Dr. King. Also, we had another reply from James Farmer, who said, "Dear Minister Malcolm, thank you very much for your kind invitation to participate in the rally you are sponsoring Saturday, August the 10th. We are in wholehearted agreement with your views that Negroes struggling for equal rights must not allow themselves to be divided. I deeply regret that a previous commitment forces me to be in Los Angeles on that day, and it will, therefore, be impossible for me to address your rally. Please express to the gathered throng the determination of CORE and myself to continue the fight for freedom in our country." We're glad to hear from